Hello and welcome to the program. I'm your host, Neil Howard, here on Health Professional Radio for this Health Suppliers segment. I'm going to have a conversation this morning with Mr. Benjamin Yin. He's an MBA and the co-founder of Generational Financial Partners. It's a comprehensive financial planning firm in Atlanta, Georgia, here in the United States. And he basically helps physicians solve some of their unique financial needs. Welcome to the program, Benjamin.
Thank you so much, Mr. Howard. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Well, a bit of your background. You're the co-founder of this financial company. Is that your area of expertise, finance and banking?
Yeah, absolutely. We come from a family business. My mom has been, in financial services for 34 years. Mm-hmm. And so it's one of these things where I really didn't want to do it growing up and, finishing college and all that. But ultimately, the calling was strong, and here we are working together. She's the other co-founder, because when I came into the business, I always said, listen, Mom, we're going to do it. We're going to do it the right way. We have to be comprehensive. We have to be objective to offer really great advice to our clients. And, going to Emory here in Atlanta for undergrad, a lot of my friends, growing up finally became real doctors in their mid-30s, and here we are, and I fell into this niche for the last 5 or 6 years. Mm-hmm. Working exclusively with physicians.
What are some of the unique financial problems that physicians face, and why are they unique to physicians?
Yeah, so a lot of people think that these physicians who come out of training, med school and all that, they're just swimming in money, right? That you got so much money to spend and they're making such a great living. And I always joke that I work in the low net worth market, which is not something that a lot of people brag about. They're always saying, I work with affluent clients, high net worth. But for me, because it's all physicians, a lot of them who are coming out of training, it's the low net worth market. You got to think about this. I've been saving money since undergrad, since finishing college when I was 21 or 22. These physicians, they come out of training, out of fellowship, depending if you're chief fellow or chief resident. They might be 34, maybe even 35, depending on when it is. You get a late start. Mm-hmm. And so you're behind the 8 ball by like 14 years. So that's number one. And then you come out of training, you've got, student debt, certainly from undergrad and then med school. You've got credit card debt for making sure that you can still live off of have a decent lifestyle, because you're making $55,000 a year when you're training. Mm-hmm. You've got nice car debt, big house debt, keeping up with the Jones debt. Because as a physician, you come out of training and you're like, well, what about me? I've put off that nice car for such a long time. Mm-hmm. And it's unique that you have to find that balance. Yes, you deserve that nice car. Yes, you deserve that nice house. But how do we balance paying off your student debt and retirement at the same time? That is the unique challenge that physicians face on a day-to-day basis.
What about just thinking about the future? Is that something that physicians don't think about when it comes to their finances? Are they so involved in helping others and curing diseases that they're not really thinking about, how am I going to take care of my family? What about my life insurance? What about my health insurance?
That's right. I mean, these physicians, when they're working, and here's the thing. When they're working shifts, let's just say you're an emergency physician. When you're on shift, whether it's 15, 16, 17 shifts a month, the last thing you want to do is think about your finances. And so that's the first thing to go by the wayside. And just these doctors, they care about all these other people, but they don't ever sit down to care about themselves or their families. These physicians who see tragedies happen on a daily basis. I'm talking about emergency physicians, whether it's a motorcycle crash or some type of other incident. These docs have never sat down they don't have their own advanced directives, right? What if something were to happen to them on the way home from work and they needed an advanced directive? Who would, if they were incapacitated, who would sign on their behalf? And so something as basic as estate planning documents, wills, like you said, life insurance, umbrella insurance, because asset protection planning is a huge component to working with physicians, right? Because, you work with docs or you talk to docs on a day-to-day basis, so do I. We know that physicians just aren't swimming in money, but the general population, they don't know that. They think that these docs are just made of money. And so every opportunity they have, they will sue. And I read a stat somewhere that it costs about $70,000 just to settle some type of frivolous lawsuit, if you rear-end someone in a car crash. So it's very important that these docs sit down, slow down, and look at their financial lives, make sure the house is in order, at least the foundation.
it's becoming more than the norm for physicians to be rated and paid on those ratings based on their performance, based on client or patients coming back again for the same treatment, based on how much time they spend in meaningful use on the computer. Do you address some of these problems, because there is a financial aspect to a physician's rating?
There's a huge component, whether it's RVU based or customer satisfaction, client based. And so that's a challenge. So these physicians, I went to a seminar because like any good person who works within a niche, you have to really truly understand what your client and what your customer base is going through. I went to a seminar for physicians a few months ago, and trying to learn these metrics, Neil, my mind was blown. So these doctors are no longer just focused on clinical care. They're no longer just focused on bedside manner and how do I heal this person? How do I educate this person on their body and on what their body's trying to tell them? No, like you said, they're sitting down and they're saying, well, how do I bill this patient? How do I make sure not only this patient's treated fairly, but I've got to be compensated fairly as well? And there's so many different metrics that I had no idea what a physician has to face every single day. And I'll tell you this, and this may be controversial, but I absolutely believe that physicians are underpaid. Right? The amount of red tape and politicking they have to go through, the amount of liability every day when they walk into that hospital. I believe that physicians are underpaid, especially that they're no longer, given the responsibility of providing great care. Like you said, it's all about these metrics, compensation metrics, performance metrics, in order for a physician to truly be, for lack of a better term, well paid and compensated fairly.
Do you feel that when one of your clients decides that, hey, this red tape, this bureaucracy is a bit much for me, and there are physicians who get out of the industry for varying reasons, finances still remain regardless of your vocation. Do you still advise them if they decide that they want to switch careers but still take your expert advice?
Yeah, because once you're a physician, you're always kind of in that physician mentality. Neil, I work with a lot of young physicians. When I say young, I would say probably 45 and under, kind of my demographic. And this new trend, physician side hustles, right? So whether you jump on Facebook or some other type of blog or Physicians on Fire, which is really, really famous, these side hustles are becoming more and more prominent. These physicians no longer want to work the 30, the 35 years that the generation above them works, right? These docs probably want to work 10 or 15 years. They go through all this training, they go through all this medical student debt, but they want to do something else. And so I see a lot of entrepreneurs. But once you're a physician, you have a certain mindset. And so I love working with great people, and that's kind of the differentiation for our firm is we don't work with everyone. It's got to be a really great fit. But for the most part, Neil, if you're a physician, an MD or a DO for a couple of years, regardless of the new job that you have, those concepts still hold true. You still have a late start in your career, right? Your human capital by far is still your biggest asset. How do you play catch up? How do you pay off your student loans? Because just because you switch careers doesn't mean your loans get forgiven.
Absolutely.
Right. So, the challenges are still there. And so we have a lot of clients who transition to different gigs, and they're still working clinical, but instead of working, 15 to 20 shifts, Neil, they're maybe doing, 5 to 10 shifts and using the other time to start businesses. I just got done talking to a client who's creating a startup. I can't talk much about it, but he's no longer interested in practicing medicine full time. He wants to be an entrepreneur. And so those bring their own circumstances and their own unique challenges.
Now, you're very passionate. In wrapping up, talk about where your passion originates for helping families of physicians and physicians themselves financially.
Yeah. So the reason why I like working with physicians so much is because more so than your average person out there, the financial foundation is key. Now, I'm a big sports fan. I love watching sports, love playing sports. And the old adage is defense wins what, Neil? Defense wins
the day.
Championship. The day too. But defense wins championships, right? That's kind of the old saying and the cliche thing. And as a physician, defense absolutely wins championships, because as a financial planner, I'm not necessarily the guy that's going to make you rich. Mm-hmm. It's your own human capital. It's your brain. It's your hands. It's your ability to make a healthy income that's going to make and keep you rich. And I'm here to help you be a good steward of your money, help you not mess it up. But it all starts with the foundation, which is whether it's disability insurance, life insurance, asset protection, umbrella insurance. Those are the things that I really love to play. And the reason why that is because I lost my dad when I was 5. And that's why my mom and I are in the business that we're in, to make sure that the foundations are laid in your plan, to make sure that your family is protected, to make sure that worst case scenario, if something were to happen to you, you became disabled or you passed away, that your family wouldn't have to move, wouldn't have to change schools. And then after that foundation is laid, after you play that defense, then we can have some fun. Then we have the ball. Then we play offense. Right. And then we talk about rates of return. Then we talk about taxes and all these other, more sexy topics. No one ever wants to talk about defense. But so we take our clients through a process, and they often, enjoy that process.
Right. Well, we'd like to learn some more about Generational Financial Partners. Where can we go online and get some more information?
Yeah, so for my physician clients out there, or for some people that are interested, go to www.generationmd.com, www.generationmd.com, and we're happy to walk you through and do what's called a financial EKG, Neil. A lot of these docs that we work with, if I ask them, hey, how much money do you need to make work optional? They have no clue. They'll say $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And I'm here to tell you it's a lot more than that. So if nothing else, set up a call and we'll do this financial EKG and we'll tell you exactly how much money you'll need to make work optional and what you need to save on a monthly basis in order to reach that goal.
Ben, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us on Health Professional Radio this morning.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you again for the opportunity. Have a great day.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Transcripts and audio of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, listen in, and download at SoundCloud. And be sure and visit our affiliates page at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au.
Thank you for listening to Health Professional Radio. We're very proud to be an independent broadcaster providing our content free of charge to you, the listener. One of the ways that we're able to remain free and independent is by having people like you become patrons. You can support Health Professional Radio simply by visiting hpr.fm and clicking the button that says Become a Patron. Your patronage of even just $1 a month lets us know that you're there, which in turn makes us more valuable to advertisers. And, of course, if you're able to afford more, then we would certainly appreciate the support. My name is Toby Longhurst from Health Professional Radio. Please visit hpr.fm, click the Become a Patron button, and support us if you can.